Ayo! Welcome to episode 11 of Create This Book 3 by Mariah Elizabeth and Ashleigh Monet. That would be me. As always, the playlist that contains every Create This Book 3 episode I've ever done is going to be linked in the description. We have 3 prompts to tackle this week. So a little bit of a mini episode, but let me tell you, they're all good ones. So enough of me talking. Let's jump right in and see what I can create. Starting things off with create a swarm. Draw a swarm of bugs. Give them a purpose. Let's start off by taping off the edges and painting a nice blue background. Now, when I read that my goal was to give these bugs a purpose, I decided to start with the most unimportant, purposeless bugs I could think of. Cockroaches. I hope nobody minds that for this particular part of the prompt, I'm strictly going to draw roach silhouettes. Those are bad enough. I know I couldn't bring myself to draw them in color and capture all of their nasty, greasy little details. I'm sorry for anyone out there who's all,
"There's beauty in all of nature's creatures."
I'm gonna be mean to these critters. Me no likey the roaches. They make me want to jump out of my own skin. Now, with my skin crawling the entire time, I did fact check myself on Google. I wouldn't want to call something useless if it's not. I made that mistake with mosquitoes. Fun fact, male mosquitoes don't drink blood. They survive off of nectar, which makes them pollinators. Mosquitoes are not useless, but they still suck, by the way. But Google confirmed this one. Roaches are notorious for spreading diseases and germs like typhoid fever, leprosy, dysentery, plague, polio, salmonella, and E. coli, like everything under the sun. They are literally nasty little buggers. Just looking at pictures, And the fact that in some places they are so big and they can fly. No. More Googling turns out they only contribute to the environment in 2 ways. The first being that they'll eat anything, even inedible stuff like trash, so there's that. But the second purpose that they serve is food for creatures higher up on the food chain. That is the purpose they will be serving in my book. A swift death awaits them here. Now to draw a suitable predator. I guess they're mostly consumed by birds and lizards, so I thought it would be fun to draw a little chameleon. I haven't done one of those yet. I may have been a little too ambitious with this one. Chameleons have a crazy level of texture, which I honestly didn't have the energy to try and create. A good realistic chameleon, we're talking hours. So I simplified it. Made it a little more cartoony and used a lot of hatching and scribbling to try and mimic that scaly texture. And I was in a watercolor type mood, so I went with that. In trying to decide what color to make this chameleon, sure, I could have done green. It would have looked nice. But isn't the coolest thing about chameleons their ability to change color? So I decided to do all of the colors. Rainbow! Now, I am aware that real chameleons can't actually change to any color of the rainbow. This is just for the sake of making pretty art, okay? Once I was done, it was still feeling a little flat to me, so I went back in and added some more prominent markings and textures. And then for my favorite part, juicy highlight time. All right, so now we just have to bring these 2 pages together. Time for these buggies to serve their purpose and
Die!
I decided to paint this chameleon's tongue going right for this nasty little guy here. I want it to look really wacky, cartoony, bumpy, all that. Let me work at adding some texture and making it look juicy. Yeah, love it. Now to glue in our chameleon, and here it is, all finished. I will forever be grossed out by roaches, but I can't lie, I love the chameleon. He's so fun and wacky. I love all of the colors. I'm really happy with this page, all things considered. Next up, we have Create Treasure. Draw a treasure chest spilling over with things you think are valuable. Now, the implication of that prompt is that these things I think are valuable shouldn't actually be money. And I love that. It makes me think of the scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where Captain Jack Sparrow tells Will, "Not all treasure is silver and gold, mate." So hey, let's roll with that. Using my alcohol markers and starting with good old Captain Jack. Let us move on to the treasure. Starting with that quote, "Not all treasure is silver and gold." It just works so well for this prompt. And now I want to draw the treasure chest. It's just a pretty standard chest, but these are shockingly complex to draw. Like, don't look too close because this one's not perfect. But hey, you know what? You can tell what it is from a mile away, so I'm calling it good. I am drawing it empty. I have a plan to add the treasure later. Now let's color it in with the alcohol markers. So I colored most of the background, but you may have noticed with Captain Jack as well, I'm leaving these edges untouched. I have a plan for them later, which involves that ripped edge look. It's gonna look good. Hang in there. Going in with some white now, I'm adding that bold outline to set the chest apart from that background, make it look like a sticker. And a few juicy highlights. A couple more fine line details, and then I really need to bold that font, make it very readable. Okay, this is the best part. I went in with my metallic gold all around the edges. I love that it kind of looks like a distressed pirate treasure map when it's not glowing, but then when the light catches it just right, it like illuminates in the best way. Ugh, love. Use that same gold for the treasure itself. Now it will shimmer and shine too. Adding a little light and dark in there to kind of make it 3D. Now let me hit it with some outline and a darker background so that it really like pops. Okay, now let's talk about the things that I find valuable. Top of my list is love. To love and be loved, is there anything greater? Family, the people with whom you share the deepest love. Friendship, not the family you're born with, but the family you choose. Memories with the people you love are priceless. And loyalty can't be bought. My last is stability. Growing up with so much chaos, I think I've always craved consistency, a rock-solid foundation. Now let's make these treasures sparkle and shine. I went through a color crisis here and decided these should all be written in white instead of black, but I didn't love that, so I started over using white cursive this time. I don't know if I'm sold on that either, but I'm going with it. Glue it in the book. Ugh, that shine. Stop it! But don't. Well, here's the finished page. I wasn't stoked on this prompt, not gonna lie, but I am obsessed with the page that came from it. I love the sparkle, I love the shine, I love Captain Jack, and it's a good message to remember. And now our last prompt. Create a paradise. Draw a place you wanna go. The little prompt doodle feels tropical, which is nice, but that is not my paradise. I prefer something cozy. For context, I follow Relax and Off Grid on the gram. They post a bunch of AI generated like mountain houses in the rain and the snow. Now that is my paradise. So I'm gonna do a little house in the mountains with a wall of windows looking out at the autumn leaves with rain coming down. Heaven. The line work is insane on this one, so let's just skip that. There we go. You know what? This needs a nice light fixture too. All right, since this paradise is all about relaxing and zen, I think I'm just gonna play some tranquil music while I watercolor this bad boy. The base is done. Now let's add some details. Yes, we've got the rain coming down outside. I added some house plants. I threw some true crime on that TV. And this is now a stack of board games on the table. Like, how nice would that be? Let's get this in the book. I just love this. It's so peaceful. I love when art genuinely takes you somewhere else and makes you feel like you would if you were in that place. Like, I feel so warm and cozy inside right now. And with that one, the week is done and we can recap. We created a swarm of cockroaches, and we gave them as noble a purpose as we could, death, at the hands of this colorful little chameleon. Get 'em, little buddy, you get 'em all. I love this one. We created treasure, drawing the legendary Captain Jack Sparrow and his words of wisdom. Not all treasure is silver and gold. Clearly true, as this chest is heaping with the things I treasure most, none of which are money. This one, favorite of the week, for sure. And lastly, we created a paradise. My ideal vacation, a mountain retreat. Total seclusion, autumn foliage, tranquil rain, true crime, board games. A feeling of utter peace and coziness. That is my paradise. I love this one too. I love them all. Man, this was just another good week for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.